Okay, so this will be the first episode in a hopefully long-running series on my channel called How to Make Blank Better. And it's about, well, the title kind of explains it, how to make a certain thing better. Like, this video is about a video game, but it's not just limited to that. I will also be doing, like, movie ones. Um, I don't know if I'll do anything else. I guess if I find it appropriate to make a video about something, then maybe if it's not a movie or a video game. But so far, I think this series is just going to be about movies and video games. Anyway, so in this episode, we're going to be talking about Fallout 76. Now, I have not played Fallout 76 yet. So that's all. Yeah, that's why I'm going to name this episode Part 1. That and also Fallout 76 so far only came out for a beta, and that's not what the finished product is gonna look like. So, I'm going to do right now part 1, and then later when the full game comes out and I actually play it for a while, and I feel like um I confidently feel like I know everything that this game is about, like the combat system, and like the building of camps and bases and stuff like that. Like, I fully have a grasp on all that, and I feel I can accurately say like what I think needs to be taken out, added in, all that stuff. So that will be part 2. But right now I'm only going to be saying stuff like stuff I've seen or haven't seen in videos of other people playing it, and what I've heard, what I've read online or heard online from interviewers talking to like the people who made it and all that stuff. So I guess we should get on the first topic, which I think they should add stuff from previous Fallout games. Like one example is Fallout 4 the Automaton DLC, which lets you build robots, and I think that would be a great idea for people who like to play single player or who do not have friends, like myself. Anyway, um, so if you're playing like by yourself, you could build 3 automatons or something like that. I don't know how they would balance it, but the the way you would, of course, make them is by going on into your camp, building the robot workbench, building the automaton, or I'm just say robot, building the robot, and then upgrading it and all that stuff. Now, how I think they should handle the upgrading is there would be 2 ways. One, finding blueprints out in the world, and 2, defeating other robots. And in Fallout 76, from what I've seen, there's a lot of other robots. Um, Now the blueprints would work like rare loot. Like, you would open a box and it would be like blueprint for Protectron laser hand. So then you would just take that, bring that to your robotic workbench, insert the blueprint. It would be accepted, and you'd be able to build that a piece of equipment, and you'd be able to build it as many times as you like, or as many times as you can. Now, for the other one, you would defeat other robots to get it. So, say you defeat a Mr. Handy and you get um, his like thruster. You would have the option to just take that thruster and like throw it onto your robot, or you could take it to a salvage bench or whatever and dismantle it, and you would get a blueprint and maybe like a few bits of scrap, like not enough to like rebuild it, but like 3 steel and like 1 gas or something like that, or oil. But you would be able to, take the blueprint, put it in the robotic workbench, and then you'd be able to make as many of those pieces of equipment as you want. And I feel like that would be a nice balanced way of, well, upgrading robots or having maybe like companions without having human NPCs, because apparently that's what Bethesda wants. Speaking of which, the second topic is about factions, and maybe they could take the time to, or not the time, but like take the opportunity to how do I say this? Introduce older factions from maybe Fallout 1, Fallout 2, like ones that maybe lore wise were over in West Virginia or something like that, or make new ones. Like maybe because obviously they have the Enclave already, maybe have like a group of the Enclave that didn't agree with what the big group Enclave, the main Enclave group, whatever, didn't agree with what their principles were or whatever. So they made their own group, and maybe that's like a early version of the Brotherhood or something. I don't know. Just like make some shit up. Maybe have like a faction of raiders, and maybe like just a regular faction of just people who are trying to get by, kind of like the Minutemen from Fallout 4, except no Preston Garvey telling you that there's another settlement that you need to save. Oh god, that'd be terrifying. But yeah, and then you would have like how they could handle NPCs. Because I'm pretty sure the reason why Bethesda didn't want to put NPCs in this was they were, well, what I think, they were afraid that players were just going to go around killing them and ruining the experience for other players who are just trying to play it normally. The way I think they could fix that is each faction has a main base city, main something, and when you go in it, it's a safe area where you can't attack unless, or yeah, you can't like attack NPCs or something like that. And I think that's how they could handle like NPCs, like human ones, not robots. Like you walk in and they'll be like, a guard would be like, "Hey, you can't bring your weapons in here," or something. So, and it'll be like all your weapons are unequipped and you can't like raise your fist in order to attack. Like that's how I think they would be able to handle it. Also, I think if you join a faction, you would have like I think they did this in Fallout 4, where base building you would get like certain furniture. Oh, jeez, certain furnitures related to that faction, which I think in Fallout 4 it was only flags, but whatever. So like, if you join the Enclave, you would get like an Enclave flag, which would probably still be just the American one. Some pre-war, furniture, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to think stuff, and not just furniture, like security, like weapons and turrets and stuff like that. Maybe even you would have the ability to, if you get a high enough rank of that faction, you would have the ability to place down guards. So like the Enclave, if you're like the highest level possible, you can put like guards in Exo-1 armor and miniguns, like defending your base, or like a what are they called, vertibirds? Yeah, a vertibird that just like constantly circles around your base, or only when it gets attacked the vertibird gets sent over and helps defend. And depending on your level in that faction, you would have like certain abilities or perks. Maybe if there was a raider one, you would have like a higher chance of getting more loot off things you kill, or more XP gained, or maybe you gain XP, or I don't know if you gain XP for killing other players, but if you do, maybe you'd gain like double XP from it, and you would get paid more or something like that. And for like the Enclave, you would have the ability to like call in support, like a vertebrate would come over and shoot at whatever is bothering you. Say you're like in a huge gunfight and you just call in a vertebrate and it just comes down and mows down all of your enemies, or it drops off like one or two soldiers in power armor to come and assist you, and then they like leave after like a certain amount of time. And then you could also have with factions, you unlock the ability to have like faction wars, like on November blah blah blah, the Enclave faction is having an all-out war with the Raider faction, and it's fair game if you see a member of one of those factions, and it's fair game if you're like on the opposite faction of one. I don't know, like maybe you would get more XP for killing. If you're an Enclave, get more XP for killing someone from like the Raider faction or something like that. Or maybe you could attack someone of an opposite faction's like base without any negative effects or something like that. I don't know, something like that. Something that makes like the faction system like really, really like unique. I think that's all the points I want to address. This video is like random and all over the place, but it's because it's my first time making a video like this, and I have a notebook next to me with like 2 points, which is just robots and factions. So I'm making this up as I go. So I think that's all I want to talk about right now. If I have anything else, I'll probably put like Fallout 76 or part 1.2 or something like that. Yeah, no, I think that's it, and I'm going to end the video. Thank you for watching. If you have any other ideas of what they should add, or if you think something I said they shouldn't add, put down in the comments like why. Maybe we could talk about it, or maybe your idea is like 10 times better than mine. Anything can happen. Alright, see ya.